Hello, hope you all are well. Today we're going to be looking at some more TikTok videos just about the current living situation here in America. I hope you all are well. I want to give a shout out to everyone who recently subscribed. You guys are the best. I mean it really. I can't thank you guys enough for coming out and supporting me that way. It's really, really cool and I wholeheartedly appreciate it. So thank you again and um, let's get started.
The cost of living is just out of control. I don't know how much longer I can do it. It's just insanity.
What's the matter? Too scared to work 168 hours at the factory? Too good to work at the factory? That's what I did. 168 hours a week. 55 years. That's how I paid this house off.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a house. It's a single wide trailer, Dad.
Son, you don't know the first thing about struggle. Matter of fact, I got cigarettes on my front porch that are older than you. There were times when you were a little one that was putting rocks in boiling water and mixing them together and calling it a soup so I could survive.
You weren't eating rocks, and you spent all our money gambling.
You don't understand. The gambling was to make a better life for you. I took what I earned at the factory and I put it all in the gambling. Didn't work out.
Gambling, never works out. That's just how it works. You always lose, pretty much.
Yeah, whatever. I think the real reason is your generation, nobody wants to work. No one wants to work at the factory like we did. Ain't nothing wrong with working at the factory.
Well, the thing now, Dad, is the factory is still paying the same wage in 2024, you know.
Well, then work more hours. That's what I did.
This guy's pretty funny. I hear this a lot, especially from older generations. They'll tell you that, you have to struggle and put your hours in and grind away at these horrible jobs, with that pay you basically nothing. And there is some truth to that. I mean, we all have to pay our dues, especially if you're just getting started. But it becomes a problem when you spend years and years and years and you don't get recognition for it. You don't get any kind of promotion or better pay. It's just these companies want to keep you there. I don't know if you guys remember that story of that guy who worked at Burger King for almost 30 years and they gave him a pizza party or something ridiculous as a celebration. And I think I don't know if it was the local news or just he posted about it online and he had a GoFundMe page and it went viral. And the dude basically never has to work again in his life if he's, smart with his money. But yeah, no, just case in point, what I was saying earlier, how a lot of these places just they want you to just stay in one spot and that's it. And you're never rewarded for it. It's not like the old days where you would get a pension or something. There was actually incentive to have loyalty to a company. That's no longer the case. They want to keep you down most of the time, and they just want you to do your role, do your job, and stay there. And I don't know. It's just I don't get why so many people, especially I would say it's Gen X and up, will tell you oh, you're not working hard enough. You got to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And it's just I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's why do we all have to accept this struggle? And meanwhile, you've got people out there with billions of dollars, billionaires, It's insane, and I hope I hope we see some change soon because it is not easy.
This is why I feel like the cost of living has never been as bad as it is right now. Because it used to be when the cost of living was high, it was for the things that you need in life. Food, gas, shelter, etc. All those things cost a lot of money. Right now, all of those things still cost a lot of money. And also, I feel like it's just expensive to just be alive. I feel like my life as soon as I wake up is literally just me putting down a credit card and it's just a tab. And life is a bartender. And it's just what are you going to have? And I'm just I'm okay. I don't really need anything today. And it's just oh, really? Well, if you're going to be here, you're going to need to spend money. And I'm just what do you mean here? I'm just in the world. And it's just yeah, you have to buy something now. It's even getting to the point where I feel like even my thoughts are getting expensive. you know? Like I could just have the thought of like, my nose is a little stuffy, and then all of a sudden I open up my phone 10 minutes later and have 12 ads for like, oh, you have a pollen allergy and you gotta buy these anti-pollen allergy pills or you're gonna suffocate in your sleep. Sleep is the only place I still feel kind of safe, but even there, it's like I could have sleep problems for one night and then I wake up feeling kind of groggy and all of a sudden I'm getting targeted ads for melatonin gummies. It's like all of our necessities are still expensive, and then also just every increment of our life costs something.
Yeah, the cost of living has just gone out of hand. This guy makes an excellent point. It feels like nowadays when you step outside, you're immediately like you're gonna be paying something. Like minimum, it feels like you're paying $100 just to go outside. Or, you know, because you got to think about it. Like you got to pay for gas, and if you're going out to see friends, you're probably gonna go eat something, get drinks, whatever, and it adds up so quickly. You got to pay for parking. You know, it just adds up so quickly, and then by by the end of the day, you're out like 150 or $100. It's insane. It really does feel like like what used to be, I don't know, like a $20 night out is now like $80 to $100. I don't know. Like it feels like everything before COVID. I feel like COVID was the turning point for a lot of this stuff. Like everything before COVID was just so much more reasonable, you know? You could have a decent job or a not so great job, but it wasn't like you really could feel it. Like it's now if you don't have a good job, it's like you feel the squeeze on you. It is not fun.
Now tell me how this, 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 and this. So, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 things cost me almost $100. Like, what is this? It's body wash, mouthwash, like, and this. I forgot to count this. So 10 things.
Yeah, this really sums it up right here. I feel like 4 or 5 years ago, these things, all this stuff would have cost you maybe like max $50. And I know it's like what is it in I think she's from Canada. It says at the top there. So I think their currency is like it's a little bit more than what we have in the US. So like what's $100 there is like I think $80 here. But that stuff, I mean, geez, 9 or 10 things. And it's not even like super fancy stuff. Like that's all stuff you'd get at like at your local convenience store. Which by the way, I suspect that they're always like jacking up the prices there, so if you can, try to avoid like making like large purchases at like a CVS or you know, a local convenience store, because pretty sure they just jack everything up. If you can, I think it's cheaper to buy either at like a grocery store or like a Walmart, Target even. Yeah, I would recommend avoiding shopping at convenience stores, honestly, if you want to save a few dollars, $10, $20. But yeah, no, it's just ridiculous how like these things, I mean, these are necessities, right? She's buying like toothpaste and a toothbrush, body wash, body lotion, you know, stuff that everyone needs. And it's costing her so much money. Like, it's just ridiculous.
I'm a 31-year-old single mom, and I have chosen to live in an RV instead of paying rent. And whenever I post my monthly bills, people come at me, and one of the biggest things that I get is people get on me for living in a depreciating asset. Look, I work in real estate, so I know the difference between a depreciating asset and an appreciating asset. And to be honest, I don't really care what people think. I said this before, I'll say it again. Rent where I live is $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. So after I have lived in my trailer for 3 years, it would have paid for itself if I spent $3,000 a month on rent for 36 months. So you do the math to figure out how much my rig cost me. And after 3 years, I will either continue to live here or I'll be living somewhere else, and whether or not I sell it or rent it out, I'm gonna be ahead because I would have just been flushing money down the toilet renting. So yes, my trailer might be depreciating in value and it might be going down in value and be worth less in a few years. However, the amount of money I'm not spending on rent is really astronomical. And again, I live in my own home. I get to do whatever the heck I want with it. I get to put whatever I want on the walls. I have no neighbors.
Yeah, I've considered doing this as well. Seems like the van life, or if you live in like a trailer or something, or an RV, seems kind of like the way to go these days. I mean, because you think about it, she makes a really good point where if you were renting out, I think in her area she said it was like $3,000 a month for what she needs. You don't realize like you're flushing that money away. Like it goes to the landlord, right? Whereas if you own something and you're you're basically paying yourself in rent. So like if you own your RV and you have to make payments every month, that's basically like your rent, I guess, but you're paying yourself, if that makes sense. Because you own the RV, or the bank owns it, but eventually they'll hand over the title to you once you pay off what you owe. But when it comes to renting, you're just paying someone else, and that you're never gonna see that money again. And yeah, the comment says like, okay, well, an RV, it's a vehicle, vehicles depreciate. That might be true, but once you pay it off completely, I mean, you're still saving money, a lot of money. And I think she said she was on track to pay for it all. Well, she'd be basically rent-free, I guess you could say, after 36 months when she pays off the RV. But yeah, I've noticed that trend. And then I think that like started right after COVID. A lot of people were like, I'm sick of this, you know, it doesn't make sense to be just throwing away all this money. Gosh, my old neighbor did that. He bought a bus, like an old school bus. And I don't know how he got away with this with like the HOA, but he just parked it right outside his house and he worked on it every day. Big old yellow school bus. I think he completely painted it, tore out the inside, completely renovated it. I think he put like a kitchen and a bathroom, like a bed area. Like he did the whole 9 yards. And I don't know if you've seen or are familiar with some of those like extreme makeover, like van life, bus life thing, but they make them look really nice. Like they're pretty cozy and comfy inside. Some people are like really skilled with that. Like if you're super handy and you've got a little money, like why not give it a shot? And then if you like, I feel like if you're single, it might be a little scary because it's kind of dangerous, like living on the road. But if you have a partner and you both can like take turns driving, and you know you've got each other when you gotta like set up camp or whatever, like that's pretty nice. Like you can just travel across the country and basically see the world in your home. It's kind of a neat concept, but yeah, I mean it takes a lot of guts, takes a lot of courage to do that sort of thing. It's a lot of work to get it off the ground, I'd say, but definitely a very cool experience, I think. And a lot of people they make vlogs, so they like make it their whole like identity, and they try to make income off of it too, off of that lifestyle. So all power to them. Alright, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a like if you like this video, dislike it if you dislike it. Consider subscribing if you want more content like this. And I hope you all have a nice day. Later.